precious jewel. My reason for living, my ups and downs, I will love you until the end of time. I will love you until the end of time. Mama, sweet mama, 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 sweet mama, mama, yeah, mama, sweet mama, mama, I will love you until the end of time. I will love you until the end of time.
Calling all the women, calling every single mother. Oba, woman, let us unite. Mamas, come and save your child. Baby earth is reeling and wailing and needs your tender embrace. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's eyes. Ooh, come save your child. Come save your child. I said, come sisters, come and take back your child. This great.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Geesbeecee-Women with Words. We're here today. I am here by myself, but we're going to do the best we can today. We want to say welcome to all of you. I want to encourage you to share this podcast. If you haven't shared it before, please share this episode tonight. Please invite a friend to sit with you and watch this. This episode climaxes the month of May, where we have focused on the entire month on women, mothers, because May represented the month for mothers. But we've had phenomenal guests. But tonight, it's all about. I want to term this show as a women empowerment show. We have women from different groups of society here tonight. We're excited about this, but let me just say a little bit. Welcome to all of you. Please share the show. Agatha is somewhere on vacation, traveling somewhere. And guess what? Today I'm here so I can do whatever I want to do. Anywhere I want it to go is the way it's going to go because I'm by myself. But I'm going to try today to leave the Liberian colloquia out and try to speak some good English because I see I have some good English speaking people here. Sierra is here, so she speaks good English. So I want to make sure everybody understands me. But welcome, ladies. We have a phenomenal group of women. And before I bring them on the show, I want to say welcome to all of you. But I first want us to observe a moment of silence for a phenomenal Liberian woman who, during this week past, Marcia Allen. We worked with Marcia very closely. I work with an organization where we were able to raise some funds for Marcia. This young, beautiful woman was battling kidney disease. She was on dialysis. Unfortunately, she could not stay in Liberia because we did not have we did not have a dialysis center at the time. So she lived in Kenya for a couple of years undergoing dialysis. When we were introduced to Marcia to be able to raise some funds for her to be able to relocate, her number one goal was to be able to relocate as close to Monrovia or Liberia as possible, because she had, I believe, her 10-year-old son at the time. And she wanted to be able to where she would have a center, do a dialysis, go and visit her son and come back. And yesterday we received, and we were able to raise good funding to some of you on here. Unfortunately, it wasn't, well, fortunately, I work with two of the groups, even though I'm here with Women with Words, Geesbeecee-Women with Words, but I work with Lisuli, that is headed by Michael Patmore, and we were able to raise a little over, I believe, $5,000 or more dollars for Marcia, and that money was used to, that money was used to relocate her to Sierra Leone so that she could be able to travel frequently to see her son, because she was all the way in Kenya. And so I never forget the night she traveled from Kenya. I can't even talk. The night she traveled from Kenya to Sierra Leone, she was on the flight for more than 16 hours. We were worried. And finally, she arrived in Sierra Leone. She was so excited that her dream had come true. We have been able to raise the funding through individuals. I also want to say thank you to Spoon TV. I reached out to Stanton Witherspoon. They were able to invite Marcia and Michael on the show and talk to her. And Spoon Foundation, with a lot of other people, were able to raise some funding for Marcia to do the relocation from Kenya to Sierra Leone. Suffice it to say, I think I want to believe this month probably makes it, I want to say maybe a year or less when she made the move to Sierra Leone. And frequently we would continue to chat. She had a very close friend who helped take care of her while she was sick. And so Marcia relocated to Sierra Leone and she could see her son. There were times she would take pictures. She would share pictures of she and her son. I know it's hard. She's such a young woman. I want to say thank you to everybody who extended the hand of love to financial givings to help Marcia. I want to also say thanks to everybody who we shared her story and they said, yes, I will donate. People who reached out. So I want to also commend her schoolmates from College of West Africa who stood by Marcia in difficult times. Unfortunately, we lost Marcia yesterday. We want to express our sincerest condolences to her entire family and pray that God comforts them. May your gentle soul rest in peace. All right, let's get over that. Let's drink some orange juice. This is orange juice. This is not Bacardi or rum. This is orange juice. So we can get over that piece. But welcome everybody. I think I'm going to play our intro a little bit, but I wanted to talk something a little bit before we start. We're on time. And I wanted to talk a little bit about social media. There are different people and I wanted to, and like I said, I'm in the seat today. I'm the only sheriff here. All of the other people, Kingsmen, are gone. So I wanted to talk a little bit about social media and how some of the relationships we make on social media. Most when we say social media, people will always relate it to Facebook, but social media is not necessarily only Facebook. There's WhatsApp, there's YouTube, there's Twitter. There's so many different apps for social media. There are some relationships that we make on social media that will last us till eternity. And there's some relationships that we make that will break right away and won't want to remember. I want to say something today. Today was a downing day for me. not to go into too much details, I had a bad day today, but I knew that I had this show today. So I had to pick up the pieces, and in order for me to be able to gain my footing from whatever I was going through, I made a short post because I almost canceled the show. Agatha wasn't going to be here, Michael wasn't going to be here, but I was so down. But I am one person that my feelings and my whatever matters to me comes last, and this was going to be first. So I tried until around maybe 10 o'clock, and I still wasn't feeling good. And then 11 o'clock, something else hit me, and I was feeling really terrible. So then I did a post, and I said, I want someone to encourage me. I want somebody to encourage me. And I tell you, the outpouring love from some of you, from people I didn't know, from people who don't even communicate with me. All I wanted was somebody to say, be encouraged. But there were prayers, there were messages, people called me. It just says that I may feel that I'm not doing anything good, but if it made me feel like I matter, and the fact that people stop, and some people die in silence, some people grieve in silence, some people suffer in silence. They don't have a phenomenal group of people that you can go to. We all relate to social media and views differently, but I want to say, let's not be judgmental on people and how they approach social media and how they're out there, because you never know that hello you're going to get from someone, maybe the only hello you're going to get in a long time. So I want to appreciate everybody who encouraged me. And then after 3 hours, I came home, I took a nap, I took some leave, I rested a little bit, and then I was still getting text messages. Are you okay? I'm okay. I'm here to do the show. I would not have missed this show for anything today, because we have some phenomenal people. I'm going to play our intro song, and the next time you see us, you're going to see me with our guests. I'm telling you, you want to go and invite somebody to come watch this show today. It's going to be amazing. A beautiful women. You not seen beautiful women before? Have you seen fine guests? We have some fine guests here today. You hear me? So I want you to just go. We'll play the intro for a little bit, and then the next time you see me, you're going to see all of the guests, and then we're going to go into the show. Okay? See you in a little bit.
Calling all the women, calling every single mother. Oba, woman, let us unite.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi, everybody. I'm going to wait. There she goes. There she goes. Let's welcome.
Shannon. Yeah, she told me she had a lot going on.
Welcome, everybody. I want to welcome all of you to our show. This is Geesbeecee-Women with Words. We are not a show. We like to introduce ourselves as a show where we're not experts, but we have opinions. And majority of the hosts on this show, they're women. And so, women, we have a say so. Hello.
Hey.
Hello, women, we have a say so. So I want to first, before I go to Maura, who is the main central team of this compact here. Last week we interviewed Ciara and her mom, and Ciara does not want me to do this. She begged me not to even call her name on this show today. But last week we interviewed Ciara and her mom, and I of course, following Ciara on Facebook, I saw some pretty pictures. And so then we stumbled upon we talked a little bit about what she was working with you all. And so I said, because Agatha was not going to be here, Michael probably was going to be busy. Why not? Why not end the month of May with a group of women who can also empower other women, for their stories. And so that's why we're here today. I want to first go give everybody a minute or so to say who they are, and then we're gonna go into it. So Maura, you're it.
Yeah, kind of was lucky enough to put all this great women together. So my name is Maura Trice. I'm an Italian photographer, but I live here in the States, in the Rayford area of North Carolina.
Okay. Thank you, Maura. Shanna, you came last, but you can go second.
Sorry about that. My name is Shannon. I'm a nurse. I'm also a part-time photographer, and I live in the Raleigh-Durham area in North Carolina.
Okay. I'm gonna keep Elise for last. Let's go, Cherish.
Hi, I'm Cherish Vargas, and I actually work with Maura in her part-time job, I guess we'll call it.
Well, that's actually my pay to bill main job.
So I'm a sourcing manager at a company with Maura.
Okay, welcome. And of course, my favorite. Let's go.
Hi everyone, I'm Sierra. I'm glad to be here this week and just glad to be sharing this screen with Mara and the rest of the ladies. Looking forward to a great show. Hey, Glendy.
Hi, honey. Hi, Elise. You're next.
Hi, guys. Greetings and salutations. I am Elise Sadler. Definitely grateful that Maura chose me to be a part of this amazing exhibit, surrounded by some powerful women. Professionally, I am a procurement official, international official, but creatively, I am a model, singer, actor, dancer, host. I could go on, but I definitely do my best to try to live a creative life.
All righty. So I want to put Maura before as we begin to talk. I want to share this picture because that's what we're going to start talking from. Talking from this, telling us a little bit. This is what got us here today. More than a body. What is this all about?
So when I started the business as a photographer, I've noticed that a lot of women were pretty insecure about their look. And to me, every time that you choose not to do something because you don't feel comfortable with yourself, you are wasting a moment of your life that you could be enjoying. So, this was my starting point of thinking about trying to do something about it. So I love art, and I used to be a painter first. This way. You can see one of my painting there. And I decided to put the two and two together. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do an exhibition where I'm going to get 10 women, but I want people to understand that when they look at anybody, but in this case, a woman, they're looking at more than a body. So we are more than what we look like. We come in all shapes, all ages, all look. And what you're looking at is just a shell. To me, what's important is what's inside. So with this exhibition, I put together 10 portraits. There are a mix of photography and digital art. And I asked for each one of these 10 women to write their story. And I place the story next to the portrait because my idea is like you're looking at this face, but behind what you see, there's a real person, and you can see here. So I wanted them to be relatable. And I had a lot of positive feedback from other women that really enjoy reading their stories. And they kind of felt, like they were talking somehow about them too. So yeah, that was the project. I had my first day. I had the opening a couple of weeks ago on May 14th. And now you can actually see the portraits in Fayetteville for now. It's going to be between two different galleries. One is the Element Salon on Old Street, 207 Old Street, Fayetteville. And the other one is at the Sweet Palette, that it's pastry and art gallery on Pearson, 110 Pearson in Fayetteville. I chose these two places because I wanted to bring art to people instead of have to bring people to the art. So I chose a hair salon / art gallery and a pastry/art gallery.
Beautiful. I think I like the concept. Is like sometimes people don't stop to think. The entire name or the theme surrounding the exhibition more than a body. So don't just look at me, don't just look at my face or look at my hairstyle. There's more to me, and I think it says a lot. And the fact that you were able to take 10 beautiful women, first of all, that's women empowerment.
Yeah.
Is to say the 10 of you, and for them to agree and their families to also agree, because it's a piece of them that you're sharing to the world. Look at this now. It's not just only in North Carolina. It's not just a small, you may have probably thought about it would have been a small thing, but it's probably on a global stage that you have women from different walks of life coming to share their story. So I want to go to Elise and hear how you were able, how you were invited, and what did you think about it first when you got the call?
I was first, well, the way I was invited by it, Maura, the gentleman that I'm dating, him and Maura's husband are really close friends. And that's the way I was introduced to Maura. And just going over to her home, visiting her, we definitely have some kindred spirit between her and I with her artwork. So we connected there. And from that connection, there grew a friendship, there grew a kindred mutuality between the two of us. And she came to me about this idea that she had, and she asked me to be a part of it. And so I asked her, I was like, why me? And she was like, she was like, you are just so out there. She was, in Mars fashion, and I, with her Italian accent, I had to give her grace and understanding exactly what she meant, because I knew exactly what she meant from a heart space. She was like, you're out there, you're just doing it. You live an exciting life. You don't care what anybody thinks about you. And that's something that I want other women to be empowered by, because not only do you not care, but there's an unapologetic way that you are about who you are. And you invite other women and you inspire other women to be that way as well. Because oftentimes as women, we get trapped or caged in these titles, in these positions, in these ways of being. And the last thing that we think about is ourselves. And so I was glad to be able to introduce a little bit of freedom of who I am to the world through her exhibit. And so I decided to sign up for it.
All right. So since we're gonna do that, I think it's also a good thing to be able to showcase the picture. Since we're talking to Elise, talk a little bit to her, and I think it'll probably flow better to each person we get to. They can talk a little bit. So I hopefully I can see. So this is you and Elise here, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So tell us what's happening here before we show the final picture by itself.
So with Elise, well, first of all, I let each woman to choose their outfit. So she chose this jacket and she personalizes, she customized it completely. So she got like a regular jacket and she had a bunch of things that was screaming Elise from it. And she chose, this person. So she chose the whole outfit, and I wanted it to be like a powerful image. So you can really tell unlikely from the final picture, but on her face, it says freedom. So I wanted this powerful pose with the big shadow on the background, and we kind of experimented a little bit. And then I added the color gold, because I think gold kind of inspire of power, and it's really flashy in a good way. And there's actually a writing around it. I don't know if you can tell, but there's you can look it on my website, omaraartphotography.com, the exhibition, so you can read it. But it's a quote about being the writer of your own destiny.
Yeah. So I want to ask Elise, when you saw this picture and saw the final copy of this, as an individual, what was the message to you about this picture?
I think the thing that really stood out to me the most was two things. And just from my creative eye, I know it's probably something that people wouldn't even look at initially to see. But the two things that stood out to me was, number one, the shadow in the background.
Yes.
because to me, the shadow is just a representation. And the way art is, we all interpret it in different ways, but the shadow is just a representation of the things that haunt us. You know, people call them demons, but whatever from a spiritual standpoint you call them, we all have a balance inside of us. And that balance we have to learn to live with. It's nothing that we can get rid of. It's a part of us. And so when you learn to control it and don't let it control you, you can really find yourself being united with who you are, and using that other half of you that others may condemn as being bad. You can use that to benefit you as well too. So that was one thing. And the other thing was the writing that she wrote around my picture that was from Harriet, a saying from Harriet Tubman that was very, very, very inspiring and very powerful. So those are the two things that I absolutely loved about the picture.
So, folks, if you're just joining us, of course, you're watching GBC Women with Words. We're talking to a group of phenomenal women with this very, I wish you could do a picture of me, you know, it's very beautiful.
I actually do that. That is actually one of the things I do, but
yes. So we're here, and these women have their stories. I want to make sure that you copy down the website. Each of them, the 10 women, they have stories on there. I just want to, I not to go into the stories because I want people to be able to be directed to the page to read the story. But what is one thing from your story, Elise, that you will want to share? Just something short.
One thing that I would share is make sure as women that you do your best to fill your own cup and identify what that means. You know, oftentimes as women, we always make sure that everybody else is good before we make sure that ourselves are good. And sometimes I feel like it's something that we're purpose for. But then in another time, I feel like that's what we're conditioned to do. And so, you know, I just want everybody to know it's okay to be in a cage, because sometimes life is going to make you feel like you are caged in and you are boxed in. But it is okay to, in those times, go from within and reach inside and actually drink from the cup that you filled up for yourself. Don't empty your cup so much that when you're depleted, when you're down, when you need it the most, that you don't have anything to fill your own self up from your cup. So from a standpoint of freedom, make sure you free yourself from all of those things that would distract you from filling your own cup up, so that you have your own reservoir to fill yourself up when you need it.
Beautiful. Strengthen yourself first.
Yes.
It's strengthening yourself, and then your strength can also empower other women. Thank you so much, Elise. I want to go to Cherish, right? Yeah. And when you got the call from Maura, what did you say? Like, really? You're calling me?
Yeah, so she actually talked to me in person, and it was at work, and it was kind of like a passing discussion. Yeah. But
Okay.
it was I was surprised, not in a surprise state as far as necessarily about her, because I recognized that with her from the first day I met Maura. When I remember meeting Maura for the first time in different roles and just an entirely different setting, and I recognized immediately how artistic she is and like what a beautiful soul she is too. She was always happy, she was always positive, just working and going with the flow. So when she talked to me about it, of course I wanted to be a part of it. I'm all about it. And like this season of my life has been about really discovering like who I am again as a woman and as a mom. But I have 2 daughters now, and so for me it was really important when she brought it to me and she talked about it. It was something that was important to her, and at the same time it was important to me. So it was like one of those God things for me where I was like, okay, God, I see you too through Maura.
Yes. So this is you and her, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is what Maura did.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It is just absolutely amazing. So Maura, how did you get her here? On that picture like that.
As she said, I always felt like a connection with her. She's a very intelligent person. We could always talk about everything. And when I talked to her about the project, I found out that she had a blog, and she gave me a little bit of also, let's say, a backstory of what she was going through. Because we, now we work in two different locations. So I guess we interacted a little less than previously. But, it was a really, that actually worked for all of these wonderful women, even the one that I knew before, finding something new about them that they felt comfortable sharing with me, and I'm really appreciative of that. By the way, so I asked her. She talked about her blog. She talked about what she had been through, and I decided to take the picture, including her daughters, that, by the way, are cute. They are just adorable. So it was fun, really, really fun to do their portrait. So in with her, I added some symbols so you can actually then investigate a little more on the website. But they're hummingbirds and they're pomegranates, and they are related to her story. So um, I try to always add something that speaks about the person, and then maybe, initially I just share with them. It's like little tiny bitty symbols hidden here and there. But yeah, I thought that her story was very, very relatable for a lot of women. You can read it in details, but if you want to share it, we can just hint at what it was about.
So it's yeah. Let me ask her so this is there's a other part of me that so I like poet. I like poetry. And I like looking at paintings and looking at pictures and giving it my own interpretation. So I'm gonna tell you, I want to tell Cherish when I saw this painting, what it meant to me when I saw it. So I'm gonna put it up so other people can see. So I'm looking at here, I am their mother, I am their protector. It's like a new life. I'm excited. So it's like they have me and I have them. Not knowing anything about you is just like the picture just looks so new, like new birth, new beginning. So I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I want you to say what this picture, what this entire picture and your story is about.
Yeah, so that made me a little bit emotional. So I'm gonna try to kind of
Take a breath. You want us to play some music?
yeah.
Okay. We will let me just go to this. Let me give her a little break so she can drink some water because that picture is beautiful, honey. So I want to say if you're just watching us, we're talking to phenomenal women. We're talking about an exhibition that's going on now about 10 beautiful women and their story. This is about women empowerment. This is about saying, I am a woman. I am more than a body. Don't just look at me and say, oh, look at that woman there, or look at her, or there she goes. There's more to me than what you see. And this story is being told to 10 different women. They've agreed, they've shared their stories. I want to share the website that you can go on to see it. You can view the individual stories. I think this is huge for women empowerment. The fact that they stepped out of their comfort zone to share the story to us. And we were just talking to Cherish. She's back. She drinks. I actually did see her drink some water,
I did drink some water. I'm okay. Water healed
Okay.
it.
All right. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so really exactly what you said. I mean, so my story is that I have an older son, so I have a teenager. So from a previous relationship, I became a single parent. I don't have that in my story, but I became a single parent, and I basically found myself again. And then I met somebody, and then I found myself again. And then through that, we tried to get pregnant and we couldn't get pregnant. So we went through this journey of getting pregnant with in vitro fertilization. We got pregnant, and it turned out to be twins. So we ended up pregnant with identical twins, and we only transferred one egg. So our whole, idea was we were going to have one, and we were blessed with two. From that, then I had the girls, and after I had the girls, that's when COVID started. So COVID started And it was just a completely different world for everyone. Every mom that had a baby during the pandemic, I just like, my heart goes out to everyone because it was such a different time, and it's still such a different time. But I ended up facing postpartum depression when I had the girls. So it was this most exciting time of my life, really truly like the most exciting time of my life and many other people's life. And I faced postpartum depression, and I had to go through it and battle it, and then still press into my faith. And in the meantime, I was pushing people away, and I was just discovering all over again who I was. But so my story is really that, you know, there's sadness is a part of life, and these challenges are a part of life. Just like, you mentioned when we were getting started that you had a bad day. Like, not every day is going to be a good day. So my story through everything that I faced and everything that I overcame is that now I have two little girls that are watching me be a mom, but they're watching me be a woman, and I'm defining what that is for them. And so it's exactly what you're saying. Like, it's this new life, this new beginning, like who I am, and making sure that I'm comfortable in my own skin so that my girls grow up knowing that they can be exactly who they're meant to be, and they don't have to be judged, that they can be confident in their skin. And I'm here to protect them, but I'm here to guide them along the way as a woman.
Beautiful story. So let me tell you a little story about me. I was married for 7 years, no children, and then we get pregnant with twin girls. They were 2.5 months early, and your culture is different from where I come from. I come from a culture where when you get married, the first thing they want to see is children.
Yeah.
And so I had no children for 7 years. They called me everything from barren to several abortions, so just you name it. But I survived it. So I had two girls, and then I get pregnant again, two boys. So
Oh, goodness.
I said I have two sets of twins, and that's it. But that's not all to my story. Then top it all, I was married for 29 years, and I'm now divorced, happily divorced after a year after being married for 29 years. So your story is phenomenal. So you don't know everybody's story, but I'm telling you, I hope someone is inspired by the fact that you joined this movement. This is like a women empowerment thing that you're able to freely allow us into your space. So you think you've had it worse? Someone has had it worse than you've had it. But I want to encourage you, okay? And your daughters are just beautiful. Take care of them and stand up for them. So you see how you're standing and they're there. Say, I'm going to protect you all. Great job, Mara. I want to talk to Sierra about a little bit about her painting, because her painting has all kinds of colors in there. So then how did you reach out to Sierra, Mara?
Well, I tell you the truth, I don't recall exactly how I stumbled upon her page, but I saw that she was making this wonderful creations because for who doesn't know, she's a fashion designer, and she does this wonderful creation inspired to Africa, and I loved it. And I don't know why, but I kind of felt this kind of energy. So it's like, I'm gonna reach out. Like, worst case scenario, she's not gonna reply. But I explained to her what the project was about, and I think at the beginning she might have been a little skeptical of this weird lady just randomly contacting her on Facebook. But we made a call. We had this phone call, video call actually, and she was on board immediately after that. And I don't know, she has this caring energy, and I think that's what I try to portray in my art. Like this, I don't know, I perceive her like so very much colorful person. So I try to put that into it.
So Sierra, you get the call from Mara and you say what?
Yes. So yeah, Maura reached out to me on Messenger, like she said, and she explained to me. We talked a little bit on text for a while, and then she requested a phone call on Zoom. So we started talking to each other, and the conversation went so well, and I think I immediately connected to her well, we were two different women from two different places living in the United States. I think that right away kind of, got some kind of connection going. Like she said, she's Italian. Of course, I'm Liberian. So I think we had something right away in common. And we just kind of talked for, I think, more than 15 minutes. She asked me some questions. I think she asked me, do you still have that same dress that you had in that picture? So what about that jewelry? And I said, yes. So we kind of got going from there. And like you said, I signed on right away. I just love the idea behind what she was thinking, and that was certainly something I wanted to loan my face and voice to.
Yeah. So what are you thinking when you're creating this picture, Mara?
So I want to try to represent what's inside of a person instead of what's outside. And I want them, when they see it, to recognize themselves. So I try to incorporate the feeling that they gave me with elements of their story. And I asked her what she missed about Liberia, and she said she missed the coast, the weather, and and the mangoes, and there they are, all of them.
Yeah, I
See
think
them
that,
in the picture.
yeah,
Yeah. So no, but joking apart, I always try to put something because I love to see what they feeling when they see it for the first time, because none of them saw their picture before the day
oh,
of the exhibition.
okay. So when you see this picture, Sierra, and then what you say to yourself? Wow.
Yeah, I was absolutely blown away when I saw the picture. And she didn't mention the thread and the needle in my hand there. There was
Mhm.
something else she incorporated. I thought that was really yeah, I thought it was genius. A lot of my friends are starting to tell me now that I'm like Doctor Strange. What is it? Is it Doctor Strange or whatever? What's the guy name with the, what I'm talking about?
With the
Uh, is that his name, Doctor Strange or whatever it is? The
think
one that
so.
the Marvel character.
I think so.
Um, and so I really like the picture. A lot of the people that have seen the picture, they love it. I think I remember this moment. Amara, the photo shoot with Maura was amazing. It was in February. It was a little cold out there, so I get changed and in the Maura's home studio. It was kind of cold, so we're talking and chatting it up, and Mara's husband brings tea and we're drinking, and then Maura had the most beautiful tone. She sings, so she has some really good music playing. So I got to dancing, like I started to dance, and I think when I saw the picture, I was like, oh, okay. So she got that picture when I was dancing. So as you see, my hand was in the air right there. So I was enjoying myself. The photo
Yeah.
shoot was so much fun, and as you can see from the picture, I had a wonderful time.
I think the picture for me is free spirit.
Hmm.
Yes.
Free spirit. Let it go. Free spirit. That's the this is Seattle. This is the sea, and I'm free spirit. That's the picture for me.
I found
Beautiful.
her. I found her a little. I never told you this. I found you a little intimidating at the beginning, but when you started dancing, started relaxing, and the smile came out, and I saw the picture, I was like, "Oop, that's the one."
Yeah. But
Right.
that's kind of funny when you said that. I laughed when you released the what is it called? The kind of the when you started to release the pictures of saying who was going to be on, like introducing the women behind the picture. I kind of laughed because you know what? A lot of people think I'm mean. A lot of people think they think I'm very mean, and the people that do know, they be like, really, you think she's mean? But I don't know what it is. Maybe it's I don't know. But people just find the first thing they think of me is that I'm a really mean person. It's kind of weird.
Until they get
I
to know
think it's
you.
a strong
Right.
personality.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have a really, really strong personality, and you give me the feeling that you're very much observing people. So I think the intimidation comes from the fact that you feel like somebody is studying you. I think that's what it is.
That's actually
But
not.
then you realize it's not in a judgmental way. So
And I'll say that to you. Wait until you meet another librarian, or you meet me. You're gonna find the same. I
Maybe
think
it's a
you know what?
cultural
I
thing.
think there's some cultural inheritance in that. People tend to think that way until they get to know us. But
Yeah.
I want to go to Shannon to tell us a little bit. When you get the call, Amara reached out to you and said, Shannon, I want you to join us to do this. What did you say?
Well, I didn't know Maura before. I'm gonna pause your show. Okay. Sorry. Or single. Not a. We share custody, but I got him tonight, and we are hanging out, and it is dinner and bath time and all the fun things.
That's okay. That's
So
what it
sorry
is. So you know what happened? You just put in a nutshell what this whole exhibition about more than
Yeah.
a body. There's more
So
to you.
I didn't know Maura. I saw her reach out about the project. And being a fellow photographer, I had been thinking for a long time about trying to tell my story myself, and wanting to do it in a really creative way, very, artistic, but also sensitive to the subject. But I couldn't figure out a way to do it. And so when she reached out, I really liked the way that she was going about doing things. I liked her style. And I just felt like it was going to be a really good way for me to heal, and for me to kind of get get my story out there for a lot of other people.
Yeah. When I don't know if I have your picture here, but I'm pretty sure this is it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this patient said a lot to me. It's like let me tell you what I see when I see it. I haven't been talking for a long time. I have a lot to say. and I'm almost at the place right now where I need to talk.
Yeah.
So that's what I see when the stuff covering your mouth is like, how did you take Shanna and put her in that picture, Mara?
So to me, her story was about having the courage of speaking up, even if you're not sure that people will believe you, even if you think you might be judged for it. But you realize that I feel that, tell me if I'm wrong, Shannon, but it's kind of also healing not to keep it for yourself, and also doing it, I think, for other people to understand that it's okay, you're not alone. So my idea of taking the tape out of the mouth, I felt like a very powerful gesture, like you've been muted and you're unmuting yourself.
Yes.
At the same time, well, you can really read it much, but behind her, I put down some words of what I felt her thought might have been. So, like, feeling guilty, or feeling like, people wouldn't believe you, or feeling like, you might be judged, you might be having finger pointing at you instead of having the support that you need at that time. And you see those hands reaching out.
Yes, I was about to ask, what is the implication of the hands behind her?
To me, is different things. At the same time, you have the hands that could try to reach you to bring you back. There are other people in the same situation that are also trying to get out of it. So it's kind of the double meaning of trying to get out of something, but also feeling pulled back.
Okay. So Shannon, when you first see this picture, what do you say?
I mean, it came out so much better than I
felt.
Yeah, what I've thought. It's amazing when you're there, and you're doing the shoot, and then you see the final product, and you're just blown away. I think one thing, when I started the project, I didn't realize how just the final product would be so healing, and so many different messages within the picture would really speak to me.
And you've said and you've said something that is profound. When you tell some people don't tell their story because they feel that people will judge them.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, June, I wrote a book. I'm an author. and the book I decided to write. So it's like is I'm trying to do 9 books of my life story. And the first one I wrote, it's about I wrote the intro of my books in quartz. So that is like, and but it was so healing and revealing for me. It helped me. So sometimes when you're telling your story, as I listen to all of you here, it's not about you and about your story. And I encourage you not to worry about what people are gonna say, because they're gonna say something anyway. It's about how that story is gonna impact your life and heal you. So I have a question. Have you all been able to meet at a place together?
Well, the only one that unlikely couldn't make it was Shannon because she had, well, not because she didn't want to. she
Yeah,
she was.
my dad was having some heart trouble back in the West Coast,
Okay.
so I was out there.
But yeah, I tried to bring everybody else together the day of the exhibition and trying to introduce them to each other
I
and
think
create some connections.
I think if you haven't thought about it, it would be even more powerful if we had all 10 women in the pictures together.
Yeah.
It's like
You
these.
know what? I thought about it afterwards. I was like, I should have took a picture with all of them together.
Yes, yes. Because the reason why I say that is you're going to see different cultures. You're
Mm,
from Italy. She's from Liberia. We have folks here from America. You're gonna just is imagine if you can have all these women from 3 different walks of life coming together to tell their story, not because of them, but to empower others. To empower others. And I
mm.
hope that you all keep in contact, because this is and I also want to say it would be good if you were don't just limit the exhibition to one area.
No, I actually have this idea where I would like to do. Well, there are two things going on. On one side, I would like to do one exhibition a year,
Mhm.
bring in with the same logic. So the behind the body, but bringing out different subjects.
Yes.
I would like to do one, for example, with elderly people. I recently lost my grandmother, and that had me thinking a lot of how sometimes we take our elderly for granted and how they feel, like they are, even if they are with us, sometimes I feel like we park them in a spot and we assign them some meaning and expectation that we have for them, instead of trying really to see who they are in that stage of life. So that's another thing I would like. And on the other side, I would like for people to try to do the same, because besides the exhibition, I would like to have people, if they want to reach out for a portrait, because I want to represent them from what they're within. So to have people see them, you know, for who they are and not how they look.
Yeah. I think your photography is amazing, because your photography is not just only about the picture, but it's an art in the picture. So it's like there's so many messages in the pictures that I've seen that you've taken. But I want to ask the women here, I want to ask Elise here, is there any one of the 10 stories that have inspired you?
Honestly, I think, just I'm a in the moment person. I think right now, just hearing Cherish's, I had to make sure I said the name right. Just hearing more of Cherish's story definitely was an inspiration, because I know me personally, like I can't have children unless I go through in vitro. And so I really was able to identify with her story, because that's something that I may have to go through, we'll have to go through if I do decide to have children one day. So thank you for sharing that, Cherish. Definitely inspired by it.
Beautiful. And Cherish, who has inspired you? Which story? There has to be one that stood out to you.
So I'm gonna be honest. Okay. How exactly do I say your name? I don't want to say it wrong.
Glendy?
Siata.
Oh, Seattle, yeah, Seattle.
So I really loved that picture. Like I love that picture. I like, for me, I'm all about like being positive, and I feel like that picture just embodies positivity so much. Like she's just like glowing. Like that picture brought me happiness just looking at it whenever I went to the exhibit. So for me, I really love that picture. But there were just honestly the stories with each and every single picture that was there was very inspiring. It was amazing to see how everyone has a story and just really truly understand like the challenges that everybody goes through, but see how beautiful everyone is and the overcoming that everyone has done as a woman. It was amazing. And so everyone's picture is truly amazing.
Yes. Sierra, which story would you say?
Also, like Maura said, a lot of us had a chance to attend the opening of the exhibition, and she made sure that everyone met everyone. And actually, Cherish and I shared the same corner, so our picture was side to side. So I spent the most time with Cherish at the exhibition. But um, the concept itself, more than a body. As I read, I was there. I look at all the different stories, and when you get thinking about what women actually go through, each woman's story is so unique to her that in every woman that had a story there, there was something in her story that resonated with me. It's like just being a woman. I know what you're talking about. I feel you. So it was just one of those things where you stood there and you read the story over and over, and you come back and you read it again. Like personally, I've gone on the page many times and reread the stories because I just feel like I'm missing something. Every time I go there, I understand something different. So these stories are just amazing, and I'm just honored, and I'm just very glad that Mara saw me worthy to be a part of this dream, and I just hope that it goes everywhere, and maybe one day someone makes a movie out of it or something. I think it has that kind of potential.
Yes, I think it does too. All different women, 10 different women. Like she said, she wants to continue to other women. I think it is very inspiring and it's also empowering that
Yeah.
the fact that you all are different, but you could come and just tell us aloud, like me, you've never, I mean, met me before. You probably just seen me today, some of you, but it's like you allow me to come into your space. It says a lot about where you are today from your story. So sometimes and there's a cliche that says, you see my glory, but you don't know my story. And so people are here with you today. They're hearing you talk. For those of you who are just joining us, we're talking with Mara and a group of phenomenal women. I want to call them a group of empowering women who have decided to tell us a little bit about themselves and who Mara decided to portray in portraits. I like to say portraits depicting their life story. You can go, we're not going to tell you all the story because then you're not going to have anything to read, folks. So you have to go to the website, and the whole exhibition is it's more than a body. Where the I think the synopsis of it all is saying that I am a woman, and there's more to me than you know, and more to me that you have to know. So I want to go to Shannon and say, I want to say I read all of the stories, but Shannon's story is the one that sticks to me the most. And I'm not going to go into your story because I want people to read it. But I want to say when you're reading the stories of the other women, which one stuck out to you the most or inspired you?
For me,
Yes.
so I haven't gotten a chance to read them all. I've gone to the website and gone through a couple of them. Some of them are pretty emotional, and
Yes.
so I feel like to do them justice, like reading one at a or couple at a time is kind of what I have to do. So to be honest, I'm gonna table that because I need to read them all, and then I will hopefully be able to come back on here at some point. But I will say that just a little tidbit before I started with Maura, I had not told anybody about the assault. And through this, I've actually been able to tell my mom and tell, many different people. And it's been very healing. So it was something I didn't tell anybody about until this came out. So
Yeah. So this is something I want to say to before I come to you, Mara. I want to. This is amazing, and I pray that you fully heal yourself from it all. The fact that you're able to talk here, I want to encourage you, but I also want to talk to Mara behind the scenes. If it's okay with you that every day, just pick a month or pick the next 10 days, we can share your wife's website if that's okay with you, and the women here, we can share your website that day and one story if you wanted, because I want other women to have an opportunity to see what these women have done. Is to say there are stories like your story. I have a story like you, and I want you to be proud of who you are. So whatever you need, and this is what I also we always say to the guests on the show. Anytime you have an opportunity to come here, this becomes your show. If you're working on anything, if you're in a group, if you're doing this and you want to share, just reach out to me or reach out to Sierra, probably your contact, and we will share it. We will help to promote it. If you're having the next exhibition, if you want, if I can drive to North Carolina, that's not this month, but if it's in the future, we will definitely come. We want to be supportive of these are the things we want to be able for people to learn from. So I want to ask you, Mara, and I don't want you to say which story, but working with 10 different women, 10 different story, what did that do to your psyche?
It was very weird because I think the project evolved on its own from the beginning. And when even it started like with my also fascination of this country and all the diversity. But then, the more I was digging, the more I was talking to these women, the more I realized how much, first of all, we can relate to all of their story, and how much, it was empowering for myself too, because I feel like we can really learn from each other.
Mhm.
I don't know. It was a very weird year for myself too. I did a lot of self reflection, and I had a lot of rediscovering myself. And I think we learn also by comparison. So when we see something or we read something, I think it's normal to kind of compare our story and ourself to it, and see what are the similarities and what are the differences that, at least from my point of view, that we can learn from.
Yeah.
So it was, I told you, I love this so much that now I want to do more exhibitions. There's so
That's
many stories
beautiful.
to tell.
Yeah. So, folks, if you've been watching us, we're almost done here. We've been talking to four beautiful women along with this beautiful photographer who has been able to expose women in a different light and to say there's more to us than you see. So people will see me with my head wrap that I've been using for the past 7 years now and think maybe I don't have hair, but there's more to my hair wrap than me. So but I just want to say that it's been a great time. I'm gonna go to each person as we close. If there's something you would like to say before we end this interview, let me just say thank you on behalf of my co-hosts, Agatha, Michael, and Eva, for allowing yourselves to be our guest this evening. Like I say, I mean it 100%. If you're involved in anything that you need publicity for, you have free 100% access to our page. We have a YouTube channel and this page, the Facebook page. We will share your information. We will help to promote you, because I think what you've done here is women empowerment. The fact that women can freely get to a place where they can be bold and freely tell their story. So let me just say thank you on behalf of our crew here. So we'll start from Elise. You have closing comments?
Your mic.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you holding this spot for women. Maura, thank you so much for inviting me to the exhibit and allowing me to be a part of it. To every woman that's out there, don't be afraid to live creatively. You know, I think as adults, what happens, we lose our imagination. We stop imagining, we stop dreaming, we stop following, you know. And so every woman out there, you got a hobby, create a hobby. If no one's created it, you be the first. You know, don't be afraid to step out there and live a creative life, because that's a big part of who we are and what we have inside of us. So express yourself, love yourself enough to express yourself, and live out loud, unapologetically. Continue to strive to be you.
Amazing. Amazing. Cherish?
Yeah, I will just say thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for talking with us. And of course, thank you to Maura. I know this was your project, but you brought so much to me. I'm sure you brought so much to everyone around. And it's been amazing to be a part of. I hope to be able to be a part of it for a long time to come. I hope that great things happen for you. And to women, all women, just be yourself, love one another, love each other, and lift each other up.
Thank you. Shannon?
Yeah, thank you so much, Maura. It was such a healing experience. I really just appreciate it. And she was so welcoming, you know, and so it was a really wonderful experience. I think the biggest thing I took away from it is just the beauty in how, like, how something so bad can end up being something so wonderful, you know, like, right after it happened, I ended up finding out I was going to have a little one. And it is, I mean, he is the best thing in my entire life. And so I think that just you know, I don't know what the saying is, but it's like the ashes to, you know, just rising out of the ashes, and just the beauty of what can come out of different situations. So I really just am humbled and appreciate the opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you. Sierra?
I'm so convinced that this project have limitless potential, that every opportunity I get to speak about it or bring it anywhere I do, because I so believe in what Maura did here was just something that was just very amazing.
Amazing.
For anyone watching, just so you know, all of the portraits are for sale, so you can purchase any one of these 10 women portrait on Maura's website. So just to say again, Maura, I thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to just speak freely about myself, and for allowing me to loan my face and voice to this project. Thank you. And Glendy, I thank you very much as well. You know, as you interviewed Mama Al last week, I mentioned this project, and right away you said, hey, you know what? Let's bring the ladies on. So I appreciate you for sharing some light on it and inviting us to the show to talk about it.
Thank you. Amazing. Maura, say it all.
Hi. Well, first of all, I don't know if I already said it, but I am so grateful for these women for the trust, because they trust me all the way through. I tried to keep and, you know, posted on what I was doing, and they share with me things that it takes so much courage to share your story, and I am so grateful that they entrusted me with that. Also, I have a kind of an odd personality, I guess. So I'm an extrovert, but I'm also not. So it really took me out of my bubble and my comfort zone doing this. And that's also, it was nice to have them walking with me through this. I really felt the warmth and the trust, and it really, that really, really empowered me so much. And well, just the last thing, if you, as I was saying earlier, if you guys want to see the pictures live and you are, well, the portrait live and you are in the Fayetteville area, on my website, on their exhibition, you can actually see the different location where they want to be after. But they're going to be downtown Fayetteville, at the Sweet Palette on Pearson, and at the Element Salon on Old Street in Fayetteville. And thank you to all these women. Thank you, Glenda, to have us here. And it was really, really nice. You know, this is very pandemic way of of hanging out with people that
Of
we
reaching
got
out.
used to, and I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm comfortable in my bubble, but I'm also outside of my bubble. That works
Thank
for
you.
me great.
Thank you, lady. Thank you for being here. I'm just gonna say thank you for allowing us to interview you. Thank you, Maura. And of course, please go to her website if you need her to do extra work. I like to tell the people, Mara, there's a joke I'm gonna share with you all. I was married for 29 years, divorced, and then I had two sets of twins, but now I'm suddenly a virgin. So, like Sherry's just laughing. And so maybe when I find my next husband, you might be doing some work for me. But I want to say thank you. Great work. This is not going to be at the end of our relationship here.
No,
So
of course.
thank you. Thank you all so much. And I will say goodbye to you all now. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. There you have it, folks. We had an amazing, amazing time. Thank you all for watching. Oh my goodness, I didn't want it to end. Phenomenal women. I want you to make sure we've been talking to Maura. She's Italian. Working with three groups, 10 women, 10 different women, telling their story. You can go to her website here. Let me just pull it up. And you can go and you can read the stories. The stories are there to empower you. You can also purchase portraits on there. She's a photographer, but they've done an amazing work here where women have been able to come out of their comfort zone and tell their story so that somebody grows from their story. So I want to say thanks to all of you for watching. It's been a good time. I've been here by myself, but I want to say until next time, next week, Thursday, this month of May, we're closing it today. We are ending the month of May. Next month, the month of June, is going to be for fathers. Women, I hope you're ready to celebrate your husbands and the fathers of your children. Single dads, I hope you're ready because we're ready to celebrate you. The entire month of June is going to be nothing but about men. We're going to showcase them. We're going to uplift them. We're going to praise them. We're not going to say anything bad about them. We're going to be celebrating them. We want to be able to celebrate fathers and their sons. We want to be able to celebrate daughters and their fathers. We want to be able to celebrate brothers with children. So if you're out there and you have a great relationship with your dad, or a great relationship with your sons, or a great relationship with your daughters, if you're out there and you want to showcase your father, wives, if you're out there and you want to showcase your husband, let us know. Reach out to us. The month of June is for fathers. We want to celebrate fathers. Let me tell you something. Some of you, this is nothing to do with GBC. Today, I'm excited. I have a 19-year-old son who qualified today, qualified for the NCAA championship track and field. I am leaving GBC job now and I'm going to do my own job. But it's an amazing thing. So I want to say thank you all for watching. I miss Agatha, Michael. We miss you all today. But I hope I've been able to steer the course while you guys were out. Until next time, we'll see you next week. We're going to keep our next week guest as a surprise. We're not going to tell you what's going to come on every Thursday for the Father's Month. We're just going to show up with our guests and surprise you. Okay? Until next time, thanks for always being so faithful to watching us and celebrating with us. We'll